Yeah, I mean, you do it. You know, like we've been out there repping it. Even we've done some drills where Danny's, even just individuals, the safeties just being deep and launching the ball as far as he can throw it and working on things like that. Um, but like it's something like you run into that every week. You know, there's certain guys out there that you're gonna play against. Like we just don't have. Like we don't have Tyreek Hill on the other side to emulate it. But you get guys go out there. We try to rep it. But I think it's always a mix of practice and then film, of watching it and trying to see it. But that's the NFL. Like you don't really see things the way you'll see them Sunday a lot of times, but this week is just I think a little different because they have a lot of guys that are top guys in their position and create different challenges that you just don't see on a weekly basis.
How important is it for you guys to not let your eyes kind of like turn you away from what's happening? Meaning they do a lot of misdirection
Yeah.
and stay with your keys instead of worrying about what they're doing, the show that's going on in front of you.
Yeah, I think it's important just knowing what defense we're in. You know, if we're in man to man, keep your eyes on your man, know what you have, and it's usually your man will take you to whatever the play is. If he's going to catch the ball, you'll be on him. If he doesn't catch the ball, they throw it elsewhere. Once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, then putting our foot in the ground and running to the ball. And I think then when it's in zone, it's just doing your job in that zone coverage. I think that's always key. You know, this is like one of those games where it's very important that each 11, all 11 guys do the job they're assigned for that defensive play. Like you can't. This isn't the game where you can make up for somebody else and run over there and do his job and you're like if you do that like you just said with all the fast motions, the misdirections where you start one way and a reverse with Tyreek, like one wrong step, these guys are gone. So it's going to be very important for us to just do our job and not try to overcompensate.
How impressive has Patrick Mahomes been? I mean, he leads the NFL with passing touchdowns at 14. What have you seen out of him?
Very impressive. I think he's very poised. He never really rushes to try to make a play or do the wrong thing. Even though he does some things that is very unorthodox that most people just can't do, he can do it. And I think you see that whether it's being rushed out of the pocket and he rolls and he's able to throw very well on the move and outside the pocket. So he never really rushes and gets worried about that. It seems like he's like, all right, I'm outside the pocket now. I just have to find someone. And you see him at times roll right, throw back to the middle, throw to the left, and it's like, oh, you don't want to do that, but the ball's moving so fast that you don't really get a chance from the backside to make the play. So I think he's just doing a great job of being in control of their offense and what they want to do, and then making some of the plays that only he can make.
Is Tyreek Hill as fast a guy as there is in the NFL?
Yeah, I don't think you can find a guy faster than that. I mean, when you watch him off field, it just jumps off the screen at how fast he's moving, whether it's in the punt returns, on offense, catching a slant, going the distance, or running a 9 route. The guy's fast. And, like, that's something, like, we can't, like, you can't get that in practice.
Is there a better match in the NFL between the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes and this just receiving core that can just fly downfield?
No, I mean, it matches. You know, it's a little bit, I remember playing against Pittsburgh when it was Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders. Like, that was just speed everywhere with a quarterback that can launch the ball and get it to him. And it's the same thing. You know, like you have a receiving core where I think 4.39 is like the slowest speed out there in the receiving core. So I think you just have so much speed, and now they have a guy like Mahomes that he's going to throw it out there. You know, they ran in against Atlanta in the preseason. I think that was, the ball's traveling 70 yards in the air, kind of Hail Mary type play. And he throws it, from the 25 to the 5 and gets it there in stride for a touchdown. So it's never too deep. That's just not the case. So it's something we just got to be aware of in the secondary.
Devin, this might be hard for you to admit, but how proud of you are your brother becoming a reliable second corner, opposite Joe?
Honestly, it's not even like I know it's supposed to be like a Hallmark card, like proud moment, but I just look at he's another guy on our team that stepped up. We rely on a lot of guys in that locker room. But it's not like something, I think for you guys, it's like, oh man, Jason McCourty's playing well. We never knew. For us, it was like J-Max in there. He's ready to go when his name's called, and he's just gone out there and played.
Dante joked yesterday that he loves Jason.
Yeah, we addressed that. You probably won't hear Dante say that again.
How much has he leaned on you, brother, since he came over here?
I mean, just I think as far as like scheme, learning the defense. But other than that, like I think it's been simple for him as far as learning the defense. Um, to me, he's been more of a leader than leaning on me. You know, just in the corner room, he's a very vocal guy, very similar to me, in that way of helping Keon, JC, talking to those guys. He's been a guy that we can rely on to play multiple positions in our scheme. So I wouldn't even say as much leaning on me. We've counted on him a lot when he's been out there to not just play corner, but to also be a communicator, be a guy that can help get everything set.
I know he doesn't get a lot of probably us talking about him, but how important to the defense? I know you guys talk about him. It's Jonathan Jones. I feel like you guys, whenever he's out there, you don't even have to worry about what he's doing.
Another guy, and similar, that we don't just count on him to do his job, but to communicate, to help guys in certain situations, to help me at safety. It's been great, I just think, to have him mature into being a special teams guy, to a guy that's playing a lot of snaps on defense. And we just know he's going to be there and do it right, you know, each play. So I think that's always key when you play in the secondary, to have guys like that you can count on.
You sort of touched on it already, but what stood out to you about Mahomes intangibly? Because like the physical skills are obvious, but like what's impressed you about the way that he stands back in the pocket, you know, makes throws with pressure in his face?
Yeah, I think like you see him move and how athletic he is. It's like, oh, he's a scrambler, but you watch him, he's not leaving the pocket unless he has to. And I think obviously everyone saw the play against Denver where he gets rushed out by Von Miller going, you know, to his left, and he's like, all right, man, I got to throw the ball with my left hand to get a first down, and he does it. So I think that's something we got to be prepared. It's not like we're playing a young quarterback and we just need to make it tough for him early, and we'll have him. Like, he's not going to be rattled. You know, if he has a bad throw or throws an interception like he threw against Jack, like, it's not going to stop him from coming back making plays. So I think we just got to be ready. It's a young quarterback, but the guy plays like a veteran.
Just drawing from your own experience, what's it like being a young player with not much experience under your belt going into a matchup like this in prime time? A lot of hype about the matchup. What's it like being a young player with
I think more of the hype is like the outside world. I think for us, we just play football. Like, guys get in here, you get around your guys, you're going over what do you need to know, the scouting reports. It's kind of just a week-to-week thing, and especially at this point now, it just rolls. You're like, all right, who we got next? All right, Wednesday, first, second down. You know, Thursday, we're getting third down. So red area. And I think all those days just roll, and you're not even kind of thinking about any of that, and you just go play. And I'm sure he's kind of in that mode already, and I think you can see that confidence out on the field.
Devin, is this game kind of exciting for you as a defense because it could be a measuring stick? There aren't really many offenses better than
No, I wouldn't say from that standpoint. I think for us, it's about going out there and competing, trying to get a win. Obviously, we're going against one of the better teams in the whole NFL, and I think that's a great opportunity to just go play well and try to get a win. I'm not big into like the measuring stick and all that. Like, if we win this game, we won't, you know, it doesn't advance us to the Super Bowl. So I think it is a good test to go against a really good team, really good offense. But you know, I think at the end of the day, we're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and we got to try to get a win.
Does Kareem Hunt get lost in all the mix of speed with Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes on? And everybody forgets that he led the league in rushing.
Not for us, because we were one of the first people to see that last year. Fumbled the first play and then went on to have a great game against us last year. So we're fully aware of what he brings, and I think just their whole rushing attack no one talks about, because Mahomes leads the league in passing TDs. They have so many good receivers and then tight ends. But we're fully aware of Hunt, whether it's running the ball or catching the ball out of the backfield, of how he can hurt you and how hard he runs, not looking to go out of bounds, very aggressive runner.
You mentioned that you saw this same Chiefs team last year. How much has more outside of Mahomes changing quarterback? How much has this team developed since the last time you saw them?
A good amount. I think even adding Sammy Watkins is really good. I mean, obviously he was in Buffalo, so we played him twice a year. We knew how talented he is. So I just think you just see that year in and year out when you have the same kind of guys sticking together in the core of your group, you know, and then you add a guy or two, you just see how much you can continue to get better and play well. And I think once you see them, you know, the way they started the season, it's clicking, it's going well. I think they just kind of rolled that momentum, but not settled and got complacent. They just continue to get better each week. So I'm sure they'll come in here firing all cylinders, and we'll have to play our best game to have a chance to win.